talking with Edward Brown, CEO of Core Edge Image and Charisma Institute. Before we get into the meat of this discussion, what makes you an expert on charisma? What is your background?
Well, my passion for charisma comes from the 1970s. I'm a child of the 1970s, from the music to the movies to Evel Knievel was my reality. I was enamored by the 1970s because I believe the 1970s was probably the most charismatic era in the annals of humanity, if you will. Since then, the last 15 years, I've written countless books, I think 10 at this point, on charisma. I've spoken to hundreds of audiences across the country and around the world on charisma, and have written several articles that have published on charisma. So for me, charisma is a lifestyle. For me, it's a world. Philosophy is a concept. It's a life-altering, life-changing perspective that I actually have engaged myself in, and I'm sharing with the world. So everything that you can think about, from writing to speaking to researching charisma, I'm doing.
Wow. What shortcomings have you seen in the legal profession?
Surprisingly, I learned when I was researching the legal profession. Actually, I spent some time in law school, and you're not taught necessarily to be a great presenter, to be charismatic in front of a jury, for example. And that's a shortcoming. I think a lot of lawyers or attorneys are good at the technical aspect of being a lawyer, but in terms of the aspect of engaging people, being professional sometimes, or being mesmerizing in front of juries, again, I think they lack that. And I think that if they had that construct, particularly in their training in law school, they'd probably be better attorneys.
Now, you've been critical of lawyers doing commercials for their firms. What are your criticisms about them?
Here's a typical commercial. Hi, my name is Ed Brown. I'm attorney Ed Brown with Ed Brown, Brown & Brown. I can help you if you have an accident. I will save you because I'm a fighter for you, and I will allow you to become who you are and get everything you need. That's typical lawyer talk that you get on these commercials. I believe that if they were more engaging, more natural, and brought the people in that they're trying to convince that their firm is a better way to go when you have some kind of need for attorney, that they could be more prolific that way. They could make more money, and also they wouldn't seem like they were selling cars, if you will. So my criticism has been that they don't sound natural, they don't sound engaging, and they don't seem like they can actually fulfill the core needs, the emotional needs of the people they're actually serving. Here is another point. When I ask attorneys what business are they in, they don't understand that they're in the security business, the peace business. You're to make people feel secure and peaceful based on any situation they need you that arises. For example, when you you have a problem with somebody, we call it a civil issue for the most part. The issue where somebody has shortchanged you, or there's not money, your money's on the line. When you say, I have my lawyer call you, you feel a sense of, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to, excuse me, this is getting legalities. I talk to my lawyer. It's a sense of passing on to somebody who's going to take care of, to give you security and peace. Most attorneys don't understand that's their role and responsibility in handling responsibilities when it comes to clients.
Well, what do you suggest they do?
Understand that you're a business person. You're selling a service. And matter of fact, the profession is inundated with attorneys and lawyers. So they're attorneys and lawyers, synonymous. As a result, they have to start understanding that it's a service that you're giving. And the service, again, is about security and peace. How do you make me feel secure and peaceful? By stodgily and dispassionately giving services based on the technical aspect of things. You have to emotionalize things. People are emotionally driven. So they can be more emotional in articulation, more passionate in their zeal for the law, and they can be more soothing with a better bedside manner when they're dealing with clients. And more professional. I don't know your experience, but how many times have you called an attorney and they finally got around to calling you? When you call an attorney, you want to put it right there. If they don't have the wherewithal to call you directly, then they should have a cadre staff that is allowed to call you and say, Mr. Brown, we got your message. Will be attorney X will be in contact with you as soon as possible. So they have to be more consumer and customer oriented, much more than they have been in the past, as well as engaging.
Okay. What makes a lawyer charismatic?
There's a few things based on the style of the lawyer. Gary Spence is a lawyer who brings you into his stories. He is known for weaving and interweaving experiences to the jury by which they are drawn in. Same facts on both sides. But here's the deal. People are mostly driven by the thing. Now, the jurors have been given instructions not to be emotional, passionate about whatever. Here, this, here, the law, the legalities, and the facts of the case. But we're human beings. So if I come off likable, I draw you in, then I'm better served in terms of swaying them and wooing the facts to my side than the other side who may not have the same things I have going on. So they can do that. One, be more engaging. One, have a sense of style, a distinct style. What are you wearing? What are you dressing? How is that clothes fitting on you? What does the colors and the cut and the little affectation you may be wearing, what does it mean? It's to symbolize infrastructure that you already created in terms of how you define yourself, how you define your way of going about the law. So, 2, identify yourself by your self-expression. And 3, understand it's a business. Like any business. That you don't have the affordability to be comfortable by saying, oh, I'm a lawyer, you're going to need me eventually. No. With the software being with it today, we can write our own wills. We can do a lot of, paralegals can do a lot of the things we do or need. So we don't need lawyers for the small stuff. And the lawyers that are, again, inundated out there number-wise, we can always go on Yellow Page and pick one. So unless you identify yourself as the go-to person inside your field, then you're lacking the ability to profitability and to engage the client to feel that you are on their side, to give them, again, peace and security.
What tips would you give practicing attorneys in the courtroom?
Same thing. Coming in with a sense of style, understand the stories, and emotionalism always move people. You understand the protocol. Sometimes they play little, games to get things on their side, and therefore the judge may rule on it at that point. But for the most part, just understand that it's a stage. Like Shakespeare said, all the world's stage and we're mere players. The courtroom is your stage. So in that stage, set the stage. Set the players. Determine how you want this thing to play out. The person who's the most prepared, best prepared, will be the person who wins in the end. Same facts and the circumstances, sometimes it's going against, the facts go totally against your client. But what necessarily, if you're engaging, your client may, from murder to manslaughter, based on persuasion, could have been shadow of doubt. All those kind of things is all about charisma and engagement. So when you can engage people through style, through articulation, through mesmerization, through magnetism, through storytelling, then you invariably are more attracted to the people you're trying to persuade and impact, and therefore things are inclined to go your way much more than against you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for your time.
Thank you.